Desmond Gay from ASEAN Singapore. He is
Ăn gì chưa? Chưa đúng không? Dạ chưa. Anh với mọi người lo đang uống
manager
cho em quay được rồi.
in Singapore. So I'm just going to recap. Good morning, everyone. Well, thank you. My voice just went up. Thank you very much for the morning. So I am Neva Weaver, the International PR Director from ASEAN Fashion Designers Showcase and also for ASEAN International Fashion Week. Welcome to Singapore. I'm not from Singapore, I'm from Australia, but welcome. We flew in, all these panelists flew in today, apart from Hayden and Desmond. So thank you so much for joining us. Please join us, everyone. Please come through, have a seat. Please have a seat. We'd like to have you have a seat with us. Join us for this free, amazing discussions that we'll be having today morning. Maybe I'd say selamat pagi also to some of our delegates from Indonesia. And Malaysia. Okay, selamat pagi. So, good morning again. We'd like to be able to introduce you to our amazing panelists today. This is very special for ASEAN International Fashion Week Spring Summer 2024. These panelists will join us today morning. I'm going to introduce to you guys on a more official note. Hayden is our president for ASEAN Fashion Designers Showcase. He's a premier founder. He's our Jedi Master, basically. He's brought us together for this. And then we have, of course, our amazing Rocco Yoga. This is the CEO of FNL Network, flew in from LA. And Rocco is very well known in the fashion industry in the US. We have Henkan Khalid from Kazakhstan, who is the founder of Aspara International Fashion Week, Kazakhstan. And he's come from a very far away road. We have Ms. Mariana Michelli, the founder of Milano Fashion Week from Italy. She's flown from Italy as well. Everyone's coming from a very long flight, I presume, to Singapore to Asia. Then we have Eduardo Perez Gonzalez Acantos. He's the fashion designer for Acantos Argentina. Beautiful. Very much into Argentina Fashion Week. He's a very prominent person for Argentina Fashion Week, I understand. Yeah. And then we have Juan Ersovic. Am I saying this right? Perfect? Okay. The CEO and Creative Director of Industry of All Nations. He's labeled, designs very sustainable products for the environment. And he's a very interesting person for us to speak to. He lives in LA? In LA?
I'm Argentina as well, but I've been in LA for the past 24 years.
Beautiful. And of course, we have Desmond Yang from ASEAN Singapore. He's the regional manager for commercial. Yeah. And Desmond has been a pivotal person for us in contact for ASEAN. He has been a conduit for us for ASEAN International Fashion Week with ASEAN, and we are really grateful for our partnership with ASEAN because ASEAN International Fashion Week is presented by ASEAN. And we thank ASEAN very much for your kind support. And we hope for a long-term support from ASEAN because we worked with ASEAN in Thailand of recent also. Designers were involved with a gala event where 10 of our designers had designs printed using your digital technology. And I would like to find out a little bit more about this digital technology and how our designers were involved with this, because your technology is a very sustainable approach. And could you please explain to us, this is the machine we're talking about, ladies and gentlemen, and Desmond is about to give us some sort of insight about what this machine does and what you saw on the runway shows last night. These were printed, these fabrics were printed using these amazing digital printing machines. So we need to be able to use this approach in order for us to create a sustainable environment. And this will be one of the roles that we can recently have played here. Can you please explain to us a little bit more?
Sure, definitely. First of all, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Just in case for those who didn't get my name is Desmond. I'm from ASEAN Singapore, so taking care of all the ASEAN market. Right, so thank you, Neva, introduction of Epson. So Epson is actually a very proud partner with AIDS to bring all of you this show. Main objective is really to spread the awareness of sustainable printing, especially when it comes to fashion, right? Because when people think about fashion, everything about fast fashion, they will actually print short runs and they will just probably cut it away. And that's something that Epson is trying to move away from, right? So the products over there, as you can see, are actually our dye sublimation printers. So with our dye sublimation printers, basically, effectively, when you print, what you're wasting is just pieces of paper, right? There is no wastage or even heavy chemicals being used in like traditional analog printings, like for example, silkscreen printing, for instance, where it's very toxic for the environment. But dye sublimation effectively uses no water in the whole production of your apparels or your pieces. And most interestingly, right, analog printing basically, you are limited to the type of designs that you can actually do. But with digital printing, it creates different level. Meaning, if let's say, for example, a sketch of your drawing, for instance, and if you were to transform them into bigger ideas, all you need is just a PC, software, AI. All you need to do is just to print them out onto digital printing and transfer them onto polyester. Any designs that you want can be limitless, basically. The things that you can do are actually more sustainable. Most print service providers out there will require fashion designers like yourself to have a form of minimum print quantity. But with short run prints like this, you do not need to do so. And Epson, we have from desktop range, as you can see, where they can actually print on, like, for example, unique novelty apparels like baseball caps or even like shoes, for example. You can print directly onto them and transfer to them. All the way up to the bigger machines, up to 72 inches in terms of size, where you can actually print and transfer onto bigger pieces, like those designs that you're seeing over there. You can actually use more sustainable materials. You can print more responsibly as well. Right.
Beautiful. That is amazing for us to actually work with Epson in relations to our fashion week, because under ASEAN Fashion Designers Showcase we have our 40 designers under umbrella, and some of them did partake in the gala event in Thailand, and then they created their own patterns, which was transferred onto the fabrics, basically, yeah? There was a really big project that we worked with Epson,
Yes.
and it was a very successful one. This is amazing. So this actually takes a different level of how we create fabric printing, per se.
Yes, so typically printing, a lot of people only can imagine printing to be done on, like, for example, pieces of paper, for instance, like what normal office printer does. But with more environmental friendly inks, like the Oecotex inks, our inks are all certified by Oecotex, which means environmentally we are very safe for people to use it. There is lesser PVC content inside, so it's very safe for the environment when it comes to printing. And not only that, right, effectively we also have other machines like the direct to fabric. So if you do not want to use any transfer media for your print, for instance, you can use direct to fabric printers where you print directly onto silk, polyester, cotton directly also. So it is actually much more streamlined, and turnaround will be much faster comparing to analog printing as well.
Wow, so time efficiency as well. That is, it is an incredible thing also for sure, because I would have to say that in conventional printing, there is a large environmental impact to our waters, especially with denim materials.
Right.
And I'm pretty sure Juan will be able to speak to us a little bit more. I think there was something about your label that works with these kind of materials. I mean, I know that you use even wool from plants. Is that right?
Yeah, we try to use all natural materials. When the product ends up in a landfill or wherever else, they can biodegrade into the environment. So we use wool, we use organic cottons, we use recycled fibers. We use, anytime we dye, we only use natural dyes. In a way, trying to, every move that we make, trying to work without hurting or causing harm to the other we work with. That's the idea why we created this. I don't know if it's I wouldn't call it a label. We created like a design office, design studio called Industry of All Nations, with the idea to use at this moment clothes or fashion as a means of expression, to see how to kind of show and put a grain of sand to shape the world in the way we want the world to be from now on. So we're not, we are trying to produce every garment in a way that we can promote cultures around the world, give like world communities around the world to, so they can, with what comes from the ground, they can not only grow raw materials, but also make the finished product in each area around the world. So people can get the full profits instead of just sending the raw material from one place to make it like cheap or faster somewhere else. So we're touching like all the points of how we want societies and the world to evolve, and everything to make like t-shirts and shoes and pants and everyday goods in a way that we think they should be done these days.
So do you work directly, I do know you do work directly with the farmers, right? And also the producers of the raw material, as in like the cotton, the farmers. I've seen that with the Industry of All Nations.
Yeah.
So can you please explain
what
sort of benefits do these farmers get? Because we want to be able to understand the circular economy right now.
Yeah.
With what and how to go about it in a more sustainable way.
Yeah, it's way more than the farmers. When people know all the process and all the people involved as to make a t-shirt, that goes way beyond just the farmers. The farmers are the ones in charge for making the material, for making for farming the cotton. But then after the cotton is farmed and goes to the city to be processed, you got the milling factories, you got the loomers, you have the cotton sewers, you got people making the labels, the hand tags, the packaging. So for each garment, there's like so many people involved, and what we do, like we're very eager to maintain every production where the raw material comes from. So we make, for example, a t-shirt or a sweater in Bolivia. We're using their raw materials, we're using their knitters, we're using their process factories, we're using their label makers, their thread makers. So it's not just farmers, it's the whole community working together to create a product from their country. The way the industry usually works, we're like trying to evolve into that. For example, until now, a brand gets an agent, and they say, well, I want my sweater. Okay, how can we make this sweater in the most efficient, cheaper, faster way? So let's get the alpaca from Bolivia, let's send it to a second country somewhere else where they can make with good technology and faster and cheaper. So the Bolivians are only getting the profit from the raw materials. That's it. We want the Bolivian to get the profit from the whole process. We want the Bolivian to give the finished garment to us. So that's what we're doing in every production around the world that we're training in.
Beautiful. That's a very good insight, because with our fashion designers, ASEAN International Fashion Week, ASEAN Fashion Designers Showcase, we are slow fashion, and our platform is to basically promote slow fashion and exposure for all our fashion designers that are involved in our platform, basically. This is what our fashion industry needs, is to promote slow fashion, and fashion designers that actually use hand techniques and hand sewing, a more traditional approach, because as we know, fast fashion is a killer for our environment, and our fashion designers, they're able to play a major role with our slow fashion capacity that our designers do in small runs, basically. So I hope this information goes out far and beyond, and we're able to reach a more international level than what ASEAN International Fashion Week is about, and how we can support these designers in terms of many different areas of information or channels of distribution, and how this information can go through. So can I please also find out from Mariana, your background is law, you're a lawyer, yeah? So in Italy, the sustainable practices, can you please explain to me what are the, I mean, is there such a control measure, like for, you know, I mean, what is the Italian government doing about sustainability?
In Italy, but in my events in Milano Fashion Week, we like to select designers that love environment. So we prefer to show collection eco-sustainable, and because in this time where there is a fast fashion and many young customers prefer fast fashion because it's cheaper than handmade dress, we prefer to show the big designer that use eco-sustainable materials, and they use handmade fabric. This is very important for us because we need to be against the fast fashion, because it's against the environment but it's also against the society. We like fashion, but we love our society, and we need to work also with the good people, you know? When it's fast fashion, so it means not respect for environment and no respect for employer, for example, and for all around the fashion system. So when during our events, we prefer designers that love environment and society.
Oh, that's wonderful. It's so amazing to know about this part of usually what a fashion week does, though. Can I do something about the mic? Okay. Now we're going to be asking Rocco. Now Rocco, I mean, all these designers travel around the world. Rocco travels extensively around the world, and he's like a world traveler, jet setter. Rocco, what's your take? Because you have actually been to many places, you've even been to Taraz and everything in these cityscapes right back in our network, right? So can you explain to me, for all your travels, the approach? Because I do remember you saying to me that when you were, especially in when you were traveling, and you tell me like, all these places have organic food or this is organic living lifestyle. Can you explain to us, like, from your travels, what sort of practices have you seen for sustainability, for the environmental? You know, you might have some sort of insights on that, though.
Okay, so my name is Rocco Leo Gagliotti. I'm the CEO and founder of F&O Network, which stands for Fashion News Lifestyle Network. And we are in 78 million homes around the world on every streaming device that exists. We have 21 different channels, and a couple of the channels are dedicated to fashion. There is a reason why I'm explaining this. One of the channels is called AIFW, which represents International Digital Fashion Week, and it's a platform where designers can show their collection on a digital platform. So we're partners with Peyton, Mariana Micheli, and Adnan as well. Actually, on the network, so I believe there's a social responsibility to media, right? Because TV, telephone, social media is how people consume their news and information. So as the founder of my network, I don't even allow fast fashion to be on the network. So it's nothing against the companies of fast fashion, but I think we have a social responsibility to allow people to know or not to know the good and the bad. In my personal opinion, fast fashion is very bad for the environment. Therefore, we don't even accept or give any exposure or press, media outlet, anything for anything fast fashion. And it's not about the money, yet they tried to pay. There's more within social responsibility than money. You know, fashion has no passports. What this means, we all live on Earth. We all live here on this planet. If we don't take care of the planet, we will perish with the planet. So we need to love Mother Nature, and it will love us back. And we saw during the lockdown, when a lot of people didn't go outside, the planet was flourishing again. We saw many things online or on TV how the animals were coming out into the city centers and things were going back. So the earth has a way to regenerate, right? So with that said, we don't even accept fast fashion. So we don't want to give our audience of 78 million homes around the world the opportunity to go to consume fast fashion. We prefer to stay with the designers that do not have fast fashion, right? For example, the designers with Hayden, Eduardo, Marian Mucha, these designers with Mahmoud, and Taraz here with Sfera, Ibrahim, this organization, and many others. We have kind of a network of, let's say, presidents of fashion weeks or organizations that work together as a group. And I think everyone has in mind this sustainability, to care about the planet, to care about the earth. Unfortunately, in the United States, it's one of the biggest consumption markets in the world. And people consume. Whenever I'm on a panel, I always say, before you buy something, think, do I need this? Or do I want this? I think there's a big difference. I need or I want. Of course, as I do travel to different places around the world, we interview, we showcase various designers, and we cater and we try to give more exposure to the ones that are more socially responsible pertaining to this topic.
So, when I know, because I do know that you go to Paris Fashion Week, New York Fashion Week, London Fashion Week. So the recent New York Fashion Week, was there any particular designer that actually was advocating sustainability or a more eco-environmental approach in the US? Is there someone or any designers that Appanell works with that actually you might be able to let us know if that's someone that you actually work with basically?
Yeah, well, we actually only work with designers that cater to that. We don't put on any designers that are fast fashion. We don't even give them the opportunity to show their fashion because we're so against it. I don't remember off the top of my head which designers specifically are the ones that cater to non-fast fashion. So I wouldn't be able to answer that.
Sure, no, that's all. Thank you so much,
That's
Oscar.
good.
Thank you. We really appreciate these insights. And now I want to be able to ask Brother Erkan. So, in Kazakhstan, there's a lot of indigenous motifs in your fabric, and that is, I understand, very sustainable how that's produced. Can you let us know how materials produced in Kazakhstan that is the traditional fabric? Can you speak a little bit more about your traditional fabric, the sustainable ways that
I prepared a big speech, but after this presenting this video, I will show because yesterday we show big fashion show and I see more than 10 designers use print of this technology. In Kazakhstan we use two fabric. One is natural. We make felt. Yeah, we have more cheap, and this wool is cheaper. Yeah, we make felt and Rocco, Mariana now. Last year I presented new collection from this felt in Paris and fashion week in Milano. And second, we use artificial fabric, especially for this technology. I have experience more than 15 years.
Wow.
15 years with this technology. And for young designers, it is great idea, great for business, because for business, the first is artificial, cheaper fabric and innovation technology, and because I have experience. I'm designer more than 13 years. Yeah. When I starting this technology, now it's for young designers. It's great.
Yeah. Actually, 30 years back, can you take us back 30 years? How was materials fabric created in Kazakhstan? That would be interesting to get some insight from you.
Yeah. I have this technology in Kazakhstan, but I use the fabric from China.
Okay.
Article
Yes.
fabric, and Korea and
Yes.
Indonesia.
Oh, okay. Wow. It's amazing to
Kazakhstan
me.
what produces
Yeah, but because you've got the wool from the sheep, right? Yeah. It's just like for us in Australia. My husband is down here. Wool of Australia is huge for us.
Next time when I come here, I will bring.
Yes, it would be lovely to see some of that for sure. Thank you so much, Adhan. Now, can I please ask? We've got a pretty amazing designer here, Eduardo. Now, what's there?
Hello, how are you?
Good. So, I want to be able to understand. You've got Ocultus is your label, but and then there is another name, another brand that you have. Is that I don't understand. I don't recall the name of the other brand. That's on the runways at Argentine Fashion Week.
No, well, I don't have a brand. I
Okay.
never did. I'm only an artist. I'm a painter. I do
That's
design.
the paintings
Yeah.
on your fabric.
Yeah.
Can you talk to us about that?
So I started doing object with my paint. I'm a movie director as well. And the first time I did a show at the museum with some object of my paint, then invited me to make a fashion. They said make a collection and do a fashion. That's why I started in this beautiful industry.
From your paintings?
Yeah, from my paintings in an art exhibition in a museum. And then I started a big, trip that I made like 10 years ago in Morocco, with Mariana. Of course, I have some partnership in some countries around the world, like Serbia Fashion Week with Svetlana, and I started to work like I did Paris Fashion Week official calendar twice, and then I started to do it like a lot of countries, but I started from the paint and the movie, so I'm not a fashion designer. I became a fashion designer because I did
from your artwork.
so many countries fashion week, also
Yes.
of course Argentina Fashion Week. I work as well there with the president, so that's what I.
So how do you transfer your painting, your artwork, to the fabric? What is your process?
Well, when I started like 17, 16 years ago, it was not those technology very easy to find. I started with, of course, the first things I could print was the polyester, but it was the one that I didn't want to work with. So I need to discover and work a lot to find the machine who can print like cotton or more, because I started with one thing, then I started to be more conscious of the material and the sustainability. But at the beginning it was impossible because it was too long ago. So then I discovered one of that machine that I think was, I don't remember, it was like a Mimaki or something like that.
That's our competitor, unfortunately.
I'm talking,
uses the same
but it was like 15 years ago,
Right.
Yeah.
Technology has developed. Ours will become much better in terms of printing.
Of course, yes. Of course, and now we will use Epson, but at that time it was like the one that I found. That's how I started, just to doing leather. Then I did like riding horses boots. Then I did some bag with a factory in Transylvania, where it's like the Hermès factory or Prada factory. They produce there. We met the factory in Transylvania. You remember that Caresta back there? So that's how I started. And I'm continuing all the time trying to improve and to discover new material and new technology.
How does when you print your artwork, you transfer it to fabric. do you have a circular economy, as in that is there like any pieces of your fabric that's not used, or your artwork? What do you do with them though?
What do you do with what?
Is any pieces of your fabric that's not been used and you have a balance of them?
Okay, yes, I try to reuse in other things all the time.
Okay.
I always work with small pieces of something, but I always use it for something.
So it's always used, wow, you always reuse your fabric.
Yes.
That is amazing.
Even I redo collection with old things, and I used to buy new one all the time.
That's what we want to be able to hear. So you're basically doing it that way. Absolutely. That is a beautiful, beautiful story. Thank you so much for that.
Thank you for having me here.
Absolutely. Our most pleasure to have all our panelists here. And we want to be able to speak to our president. Our president, can you please explain to us, with our fashion designers, Hayden's a fashion designer himself. He's been in the industry in Singapore for more than 30 years. He's a champion fashion designer in Singapore. You have seen so much changes in Asia and fashion design in Asia from your vast experience and knowledge. Can you please explain how the industry has changed, and from where you started to what right now, the environmental impacts and the changes that our designers in ASEAN Fashion Designers Showcase have included in our production and creating new designs and collections? Can you give us some sort of insights about that?
I started in this in 1980s, so it's a long time. It's about 40 years now. So back in the 80s, we used a lot of raw fabrics, so like the Thai silk, Indian silk, and batiks and all that. And as we progressed into the 1990s, we became more like polyester based. So because of these fabrics, the raw fabrics, the pricing went up. And because of that, people switched more to polyester. And people began to travel more, the lifestyles changed, and polyester doesn't increase as much as raw fabrics. So that became more of a norm for people. And in the year 2000, and then it started to go into fast fashion. And that was the killer. Because basically the whole environment became very polluted and screwed up because of that. But now, back in 2024, we are becoming more conscious of it, and we are trying to spread the message to our consumers out there that we have to be aware of what's happening to our earth, our environment, and we are trying to teach that. And with our collaboration with ASEAN, we have moved into this new realm where the designers are not forced to buy thousands of meters of fabrics, but we use and print what we want. And most importantly is what the inspiration for that season is. So you're not limited to what is available in the market, but you create what your inspiration allows you and wants you to move into that, to tell your story.
That is something that our platform is actually pushing as a forefront for sure. And as you all know, this is our first debut for this year's ASEAN International Fashion Week 2024 Glasgow Summer edition. And this is a platform that we will produce in different countries. We want to be able to take our Fashion Week. The next Fashion Week, yes, we want to be able to do it in Singapore again because I feel we have good relationships.
Yes.
Yeah, with our partners in Singapore.
Many partners around the world, they want this show to go on is because it's ASEAN International Fashion Week and ASEAN Fashion Designers Showcase. It's not just about pushing designers, but it's also about giving ASEAN models and talents, brands, more higher profile in the international fashion arena. Because a lot of our practices now deals with sustainability. So that's why for this project, we started with the theme of sustainability in Asia. So with this team, we want to move out and to show the world what ASEAN brands, ASEAN models, what we can do to contribute into the international fashion scene.
Fabulous. I want to be able to, thank you, Helen, thank you so much for that. I want to be able to ask Desmond this because ASEAN has this amazing, as you can see, a display for us for our whole fashion week. And I would really like some of you to actually go to the booth and find out about the technology and what they set up here, and to actually go through they've got a demonstration too for everyone to, yes?
Yes, that's right.
So this has really caught my eye about the sustainability commitment from ASEAN. That the ASEAN is the first in the Japanese manufacturing industry to transit to 100% renewable electricity worldwide. Now, we being in Australia, like our house is all solar panels.
Oh, that's good. That's very
Yeah,
interesting.
10,000 kilowatts on our roof. And it's very full on in our environment. Australia practices sustainability at a very high level. And for our solar energy is something that our government really pushes on. And that is something that, is vastly, it's part of our Australian lifestyle. Even when it comes to, we have our recycle bin and our normal garbage bins and so forth. So we have a very systematic approach in Australia for our sustainable practices. So for me to actually understand what is this, can you please explain the renewable electricity worldwide? This is amazing for us.
Right, thanks Nathan. So, that's a very good question. So one of the most important things that ASEAN is committed to do is not just about developing very good products. And of course, like what Rocker mentioned earlier on, we have to be societal, environmental friendly and responsible as well. So with this movement, we actually aim to save up to 400,000 tons of carbon emission. Right? What's going to happen is ASEAN, we are the first Japanese manufacturer in the whole world to actually create using our own site or to use renewable energy. And this is actually part of the bigger vision of our environmental vision 2050. So from now to 2050, there is actually a couple of roadmaps about what we are going to do to actually create more environmental friendly products, and also how to make use of our facilities to create new renewable energy as well. So we are also thinking about things like, in the news recently it just came out that we are also creating biomass plants using ASEAN as well. So these are some of the initiatives that we are actually slowly and gradually rolling out in the market to be not just a print manufacturer or product manufacturer for consumer products, but also be a responsible one. And that is the reason why we are actually relating most of our products back to sustainable printing, print responsibly, and actually cater for short runs. And these are all part of the efforts to be environmental friendly at a larger scale.
Wow, that is. Thank you so much for that. I was really impressed about this whole project and the movement that ASEAN's created for that matter for sure. So has this kick started?
Oh yes, in fact we have actually started building the biomass plant, and also we have actually started working towards the renewable energy. So at the end of the year, the goal, right, is actually all ASEAN offices or all ASEAN sites will all be using 100% renewable energy to actually eliminate the underground resource free by 2050.
Wow.
Yes, that's the ultimate.
That's the ultimate. So that's the vision.
That's the vision.
That is the vision, actually. Okay. So now let's speak about the vision because we have to wrap up. So we have to set up for our next run of shows. Can we just find out some visions? Can I just perhaps ask Juan, what's your vision of your designs? And are you planning to come to Australia? Because you'll do pretty well.
Planning for what, sorry?
Planning to come to Australia because you'll do pretty well with what you have.
Australia?
Yes, of course.
I never been to Australia, I don't know.
Sure. Yes, what you've created, the line, the collections and the I would say philosophy of what you've created, that would do very well in many places. So can you give us a little bit of your vision? Where would you like to take your brand? And that would be an interesting thing for us to understand.
Ideally, we would like to take the company to every corner of the world. For example, the last store we just opened I'm going to put the case of Bolivia.
Yes.
We opened the first concept shop in a manufacturing country. So, what usually happens to us is when we develop a product using local techniques in other places around the world, usually in their own country, people are not used to be able to obtain there the product that we produce, although they are completely locally made. But they're used to be able to buy products like anywhere else that they come from abroad, brands that are completely foreign to their culture. So we just opened this shop in Bolivia where Bolivians can actually be part of buying what we make in this place, you know? But more than that is, of course, the more shops we open, the more we open, the more effect we will have with the idea that we know how we can shape the world. But I think that an important thing that we also want to give all the way to the youth is that when you become an adult and you have to start working, to maintain your life, no? But I think it's very important not to wake up every day with the only goal to make money. I think that's what take us to the children that we are and we want to live.
We all need to find joy every day.
Joy, and also we need to wake up to help each other. And we help each other well, the means and the money that we need to live is going to come because everybody needs help. So I think that's the value that we all of us need to address and change. And we start thinking a bit less about the money and a bit more about helping each other.
Wow, that's a beautiful message there.
It's going to work one of the revert things in a very
Beautiful.
happy and smooth way.
There's a very circular way for us to transpire positivity for all of us humans and our environment. And we're a circulation way, circular way, I would have to say. So I think in that for sure it is a very good message because we don't need to hear this all the time, you know. So like fast fashion, it's the same ideology and the philosophy that's fast, money. And so here we have all these amazing designers and this amazing, honestly, fashion design is part of art. Yeah? We have the creative perspective here. What would you say so, Eduardo? Is like, you know, it is basically doing art in a different form. So you design in that sense. So that is an appreciation. So it is just not only just what we wear, but how we feel in what we wear. What that actually transpires in our mood. Can you actually explain to me? Because your collections and your artwork, Eduardo, has a lot of colours. And I noticed that gives a lot of joy when people to wear them. Explain to me about your collection. How does these artworks come to you in inspiration? And how do you transpire that into your fabrics?
Well, I think the inspiration is coming every day, like when you are reading, when you are feeling, when you are meeting people,
Yes.
when you are discovering places, when you are discovering parts, or you know, and that's the way I think I create, just walking around where I need to walk in an organic way, and just
Organic. Yes.
yeah, just. It's follow, you know, just coming from the earth, from the nature, from the people, from the love, from the sadness, from everything.
Oh wow, that's a lovely message. Absolutely. Thank you so much for that, Mariana. The vision for Manuel Milano, and to have, for the vision for working with sustainability, the environment. What is your vision that you want to be able to have part of your fashion?
I told you, my vision is a good fashion, eco-sustainable, and where we can create new materials. For example, now we are using orange to create new materials. For example, or for example, we are coloring materials with wine.
Oh, staining.
Yes, so we have a different color of red inside the materials. This is different kind to color or image new materials, eco-sustainable. Why not? We can to be
A
to
visionary.
create new materials.
Yeah, I love that. Using wine.
Yeah, this is very nice.
That is beautiful. I mean, like, because I do understand, I think we use tea in order to stay.
Yes, why not?
Yeah, I use,
Maybe it's a good idea.
absolutely. Rocco, I'd like to find out from you, because you are a major visionary, we know that.
Thank you.
So, what is your vision about, because, okay, the fashion in the US, do you have a vision about how you'd like things to move or change or whatsoever? Anything about the vision, because you have you're such a creative person and you're always evolving and bringing out new ideas. Can you explain to us a little bit more of your vision about what would you like to bring out? Something new.
Thank you. Well, with the household penetration, 78 million. Household penetration means how many people are actually watching the network. The network I'm running, where we also have International Digital Fashion Week. My vision is that if I could just have each viewer be influenced by the fact that we're not highlighting or showcasing fast fashion, and that we are showcasing designers that care about recycling, they care about sustainability, they care about the environment, they care about the fabric, then I feel like I've really done my job. And my responsibility of sending that message out to the entire planet.
Yes.
Again, media, news, it's powerful, that platform. Imagine you can put something on a channel.
Yes.
I could say to my team, put this on the channel. And then millions of people look at it and they're influenced. They can go to fast fashion and buy. But then that doesn't help the environment. But to showcase something with brands that care about the planet, as the ones here, and partners here, and the designers here, no one here is fast fashion, right?
Yes.
And then even with the sponsor, this is amazing technology.
Correct.
I'm sitting here watching this video and I am so impressed. I would love to somehow work with Epson on my network to show the world that it's possible. And this is something we should discuss, and Hayden is amazing people connected for this. So, my objective, my vision is to have people accept more responsibility, and it really counts with the people, the end user, that consumer.
Yes, that's a major impact, because you as media, you have a pivotal role to actually get the information channeled through to those viewers. So absolutely, and FNL is doing a fantastic job, absolutely, for that. Thank you so much, Rock. I really appreciate that. Ida Khan, can I ask you, what is the vision for Kazakhstan and fashion design in Kazakhstan? What's your vision? Because you're a big visionary. Yeah, fashion is sustainable.
I think it's one way is slow fashion.
Yes.
Yeah. Second is eco fashion.
Beautiful.
And third is ethical fashion.
Ethical. Wow, that's a really good word. The ethical fashion is something we want to hear. For sure. Well, thank you so much. Now we want to be able to wrap up. President, I'd like to get the vision from you. Before we wrap it up, what is your vision for ASEAN International Fashion Week?
The vision for ASEAN International Fashion Week is just a very simple one, to have more responsible designers coming on board our team to promote the concept and about sustainability out to many parts of this world, not only in Asia, and to work more together with ASEAN and our partners, and to see how we can push this to the next level.
Fabulous. This is what we want to be able to hear. And with this, we thank all our panelists, Jasmine, Eden, Juan, Eduardo, Mariana, Rocco, and Khan. Thank you so much for your time and your insights for today. We really appreciate it. We really learned a lot. Do we have any questions from the floor? If there are any students that have any questions or anyone, and if there isn't, we'd like to wrap
this up. Thank you so much for attending the panel discussions on sustainability for ASEAN International Fashion Week, and we conclude for today. Thank you so much. Are we going to have a take photo?